Alright, we're going to go ahead and go over another Grove load chart, truck mount, telescopic boom crane, for your swing cab or your TLL specialty certification. On this load chart, we are going to have, it's going to be a little harder. We are throwing in, we're going to be between boom lengths and radius. So you're going to have four load chart selections, gross capacity selections to choose from once we get to the load chart. So you're going to have to pick the lowest of all four instead of just having either the boom length between radius or having the radius between radius. So between capacities. So let's go ahead and get started. Just like we normally do, we got 7,800 pound of removable counterweight. We're in our main boom. So our main boom is 68. So we're gonna go head up here. We'll put in 68 foot. That's our main boom. Next one's gonna be our main boom angle. We don't have a main boom angle. No jib on or anything. Our radius is gonna be 44 feet. So 44 foot. And then from there, we're going to continue to go down the list. The first other, we don't have any. It's NA, not applicable. It means it's not there. The next other, at the very bottom, second column, auxiliary boom head. We already know what the auxiliary boom head is going to be. Auxiliary boom head's 143 pounds. Move that up here so it's where it needs to be. And then following the third column, this is extension offset. So we'll go over to this fourth column. NA, there is no extension offset. No extension offset. I just need to look at some stuff here. No extension offset. And then, so now we're going to go down to our block. We don't have an extension, we have an auxiliary. So we'll go to our block here. We have a, figure out what our block is. It says we have, let's go down here, scroll down to our deductions page. Our block is a 15 ton, one shiv, two parts a line. We're at a 15 ton, one shiv, two parts a line. So there's our 15 ton, one shiv, two parts line. That's 380 pounds. So do 380. Again, we have times two. That's two parts of line. So we're going to go ahead and put two parts of line in there. Get this lined up right here. Oh, it's easier for both of us to see. Our next deduction is going to be our 7.5 ton ball, 10 foot below the tip. 7.5 ton headache ball. That's 338 pounds. 338. And then again, 10 below, because that lets me know that it's 10 foot below. That's automatically going to give me my line deduction for my ball. So we'll go ahead here. We can go ahead and we know our auxiliary line deduction is 10 because that's 10 foot below the tip for that. So we're done with that. There's your line deduction for your auxiliary line. Now our rigging, we have our rigging. Go over here. Rigging is 125 pounds of rigging. And now we're done. We have all our deductions, so we can move on to the next one. Sorry, just looking at something here. We're going to find our tip height now. So just like before, we're going to come over here. We have 68 foot. So 68 foot, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go up to 70 because 70 is our longest one on our range diagram. We're going to go ahead and go to 70. So 70 to 40 and 44. So instead of going to 44, we're going to go to 50. Going to the next longer one. When you're on between load charts, when you're between radiuses and boom lengths on your range diagram only, you go to the next longest. So that's going to bring us up here. That's going to give us, follow the line across, that's going to give us a tip height of 50 feet. Go ahead and enter that in. 50 feet. Now, this is the only one that you're going to use. You're going to go to the next longest one on until you determine if your numbers are going to be greater or less. All right, go over here. All right, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky. Now that we're done with our range diagram, we can move to our next page. So we are at 68 foot of main boom. So we're going to be between our main boom length here, 68 foot, and we're at 44 foot. So 44 and 45, we're going to be between these two. So we're gonna follow this line over here to between these four, and we're going to follow this line over here because we're going to be between these four. So these are the four load charts that we're going to be working from. We're going to figure out which one is the lowest capacity out of these four, because here and here we have a lower we decide what capacity we're going to be through. And since we're not just here and here, we're also here and here because we're deciding between 60 and 70, right? So we have to decide between what capacity is the lowest between all four of those. And we're going to look down here. It looks like 16,850. We have 15,650. Okay, and then down here on the 45 foot radius, we have 13,6 and 13,350. Well, we're going to go with the 13,350 because that is the lowest between all of them. So in our gross capacity, we're going to put 13,350. Perfect. Now that we have our gross capacity, we're going to find out if we have a line deduction capacity. And since this number, the 13,350, is larger than 12,920, that means we're going to have to deduct, or we're going to have to divide. I mean, this is a fairly easy one to do. We're going to divide 13,350 divided by 12,920. That equals 13,350 divided by 12,920 equals 1.03. That means we need two parts of line because you always round up. If you're out bigger than a whole number, you round up. So that means we need both parts of line on this block. So that means there is no line deduction for our main block. We'll go ahead and put a big fat 0 right there. Big fat 0. So now that we have all our deductions, so we'll go through and count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's count it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And notice I forgot one. We were supposed to have 6 deductions here because notice I forgot our fixed extension. But see, this is where labeling everything comes in to effect because I counted. Uh, we got one auxiliary head, two fixed stowed jib, three our 15-ton block, four our ball, five our rigging, and our auxiliary rope would be six. So I forgot uh, a deduction. Well, our deduction that I forgot is our fixed stowed jib. And this is where labeling everything comes in super handy at, because when you forget a deduction, you can put it in. So we're going to go up here to our deductions page. We're going to find that deduction. So this is the fixed stowed extension. So we're the 32 foot fixed stowed extension, and it's stowed. So that is 267 pounds. So we're going to go ahead and put 267 pounds in there. And that's where that comes in super handy, making sure you write everything down. Because if I hadn't wrote that down, I'd have to go back through, find what deduction I missed, and match it with the weights. So I would not only have to find, I'd have to go over to I'd not only have to find what one I'm missing, but I'd have to find what one equals the weight that I already have on there. So this being labeled here, already, okay, I have my aux head. Oh, I have my block. I have my ball. I have my rigging. I have my aux line. Oh, the one I'm missing is my extension, my stowed extension. So 267, that really cuts down on the time. I already found it. Boom, found it right away. So we'll go ahead, we put that in here. Now we can go ahead and figure our deductions out. So we'll do 143 is our ball, 267 is our extension stowed, plus 380 is our block, plus 338 is our ball, plus 125 is our rigging, plus 10 is our auxiliary line. So we have a total deductions of 1,263. That's going to be our total deductions. So we'll go ahead, we put that underneath our gross capacity, 1,263, and we subtract that from 13,350. 13,350 minus 1,263 equals 12,087. So 12,087. And I always make sure I just uh, write these down for my reference just in case I have to go back. It might take a tiny bit more time, but in the long run, it's going to save you if you get distracted or something. You're like, crap, I have to re-add all this in. And let's see what our answer is down here. So we have 12,087, and that is going to be our correct answer. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to the rest of these slides.